What is going on, Healing Wave Chiropractic team? Hey guys, this is Baron from OneChiropractic and the Chiropractic Defense Council. And Dr. Smith had asked me to be a part of your guys' training, and my goal was to kind of zoom in live where we could have some Q&A and I could let you know kind of things that are going on around Australia. But unfortunately, while you guys are meeting, I'm going to be marrying my nephew. And so it doesn't work. I'm very excited for this weekend to be a part of that special day for him and his fiance. But unfortunately, you guys are stuck looking at this video rather than us being able to have a conversation back and forth. So I'm going to try to do my best to kind of highlight some of the things that are going on in Australia and really impress upon you what we're trying to achieve, because it takes every single one of us in this profession to organize and come together for us to achieve the goals that we've been working on. We are now going on our 5th year in Australia. Very honored to be over there, very honored to be doing the work that we're doing. But holy mackerel, there's a lot of work that needs to be done to get chiropractic where it needs to be in that country. And I think we can get there. Actually, I know we can get there. It's just a matter if the profession is going to actually come together and organize. There's a lot of issues that are ingrained with the way that healthcare is formulated there in Australia. Opera is kind of a broken model. There's nowhere else in the world that healthcare is managed and governed the way that it is in Australia, with one universal authority or regulatory body that oversees all of healthcare throughout all of Australia. Yes, you have your health ministers in each of the states, but the way that it's broken down and having one chiro board that manages the entire country, it's kind of a broken system. And because it's so massive and the ask of that organization to be able to do this appropriately is just too big, we have what is typical, where there's a lot of ignorance and a lot of very draconian systems that are put in place because they just don't have the time and the ability or understanding to appropriately govern all of these different healthcare specialties. So as we started looking into this and breaking down and looking at issues that you guys have been dealing with in Australia for some time, one of the big issues we noticed was the censorship, in that they've really hindered your guys' ability to accurately and appropriately tell the story of chiropractic, not because what we want to say is wrong, but because they don't understand it. And because they don't understand it, they automatically assume we're wrong, and therefore they will just tell you you can't say certain things that actually you should be able to say. So we launched Operation Free Speech about 1.5 years ago. This was an effort to try to get you guys information that actually will be supported if challenged. So their stance is that you guys can't say things that can't be proven through evidence. Well, there's a lot of stuff that we actually do, and the effectiveness that we have, the efficacy, the safety, the effectiveness that we have, everything from birth from the cradle to the grave. But because they don't understand chiropractic, they automatically assume that there's nothing there to support it. So they tell you that you can't say it. So we worked with organizations like Dr. Heidi Havik, with the Foundation for Chiropractic Progress, the New Zealand Chiropractic Association, the Australian Chiropractic Association, bringing information that we know if challenged, we could support. But it's typically something that Opera would tell you you can't say. So we've been pushing the envelope, if you will, a little bit, intentionally trying to get the attention of Opera, trying to get them to send letters to providers telling them to remove this information so that we could push back. We've been very, very successful. I think right now we're over 35 offices that have been willing to follow this model that we have supported to keep that material up, and forcing Opera to have to back off of their original view. The strategy here is to get them to lose enough times that they stop going after and they start broadening their perspective and understanding of chiropractic. Things like children with colic, things like just chiropractic with children, which is another issue we'll talk about in a minute. But we've been very successful. Our legal team is very, very knowledgeable in what chiropractic is, how it operates, the information that's available to it. And we're standing up and we're pushing back, not letting them be so draconian without any evidence or support for to justify their particular actions. So now, it's great. We've had like 35. That's fantastic, but we need thousands. Our goal is to get as many chiropractors in Australia to start following this system so that we can defend you. We understand that it'll probably draw some attention to you. The beauty of this particular system is this isn't going to get you to be deregistered. You're not going to get massive fines. They're just going to tell you to take it down. So part of what we're doing is working with office to office to get that information and give you the green light to start really pushing stuff on your websites, on your their social channels, and then we'll be there to support you. Now, there's a whole system to this. If you want more information on it, I'm happy to do that. I don't want to take up my entire time with you today discussing this particular issue, but it's the reason we're doing it is to push back on Opera, use it as an opportunity to educate them on the bandwidth that chiropractic really does operate in, that we're not just neck pain, back pain, that there's so much more to what we do and the effectiveness of the adjustment. And the only way to really educate them is to fight them and push back on them when they're trying to shut us down. So that's Operation Free Speech. That's a censorship issue that we're working on. Now, obviously, you should be aware, unless you've been living under a rock, about this pediatric policy that was put into place in 2019, got removed at the end of 2023, was reinstated in the spring of 2024, and now we're waiting on the health ministers to decide if they want to support the Chiro board, who did remove the policy. We're believing that right now the issue is political, has very little to do with efficacy and effectiveness or safety, has to do with this political climate between the medics and the policy, the political arm of Australia, and we're pushing against that. Obviously, we know there's not a shred of evidence that supports any danger to children, and there's plenty of evidence that shows the efficacy and effectiveness of children being treated. As a matter of fact, Safer Care Victoria, almost 29,000 responses from parents that had their children seen by a chiropractor, 99.6% positive. Actually, there wasn't any negative. It's just 99.6% actually spoke highly in favor of what their children had received. So that in and of itself is evidence of efficacy in what we're doing. Actually, the largest responded survey in the history of Australia. So we've got a lot of evidence in our corner, but as you and I both know, truth doesn't always get it done, especially in the political arena. So we're really building this army right now in Australia. And here's where you guys come in. I need two things from you. Listen, there are 6,600 chiropractors throughout all of Australia. Not a big number, but a big enough number to be able to do some serious damage if we could simply organize. If you want an environment where chiropractic is viewed more appropriately, where the world understands what it is you're doing and why you are a solution to a number of the healthcare problems in Australia, then we need to get organized. We are working very closely with the ACA. I have two asks of you. Number one, you need to belong to the ACA. I don't care the history. I don't care your political beliefs. They are the organization that's doing the policy work on behalf of chiropractic. We work hand in hand with them on a number of issues because that's their job. My job's not to be in the policy of stuff. I'm the bulldog. I'm the special forces that gets to come in and kick the crap out of people. They're the ones that build an environment and guide me on where I need to go kick some heads. So they are a very important part to what's going on in Australia. They're your boots on the ground there in Australia. Everyone needs to belong. Our goal is to get 4,000 chiropractors as members of the ACA. The second ask I have of you is to join us. We want 4,000 as well. We want 4,000 in both of those organizations because then we have the resources. I want you to understand the math on that. We ask for 33 US a month. I believe, I don't know, I think their dues, and I'm really going off a cuff here, but I think it's right around $500 or $700 a year, something like that. But there's a ton of benefit for that makes that next to nothing if you use all of the resources available to you as a member of the ACA, far more than we give you. We'll protect you and we'll defend you, but I don't have any immediate value to being a member of ours, which is why our dollar amount is so much lower. But if we both had 4,000, the amount of money that we would have to be able to advance and protect chiropractic, we would never have to spend special funding drives. You should have already seen, if you're connected to us already, I just sent out a video this past week because we need to pay for these attorneys and the PR firm that we're putting together to be able to go after the health ministers if they do maintain the pediatric policy. So there's work to be done. It can all be done where all of us are doing just a little bit if we come together. Chiropractic has historically not done well working together. This is why we struggle. This is why we don't have as much impact in the world as we should and could and will if we can come together. This is no longer a time for us to see each other as competitors, but colleagues. I'm telling you, I have the unique standpoint of seeing what's going on all over the world. Australia has the biggest opportunity to come together, to streamline, work well together, where no one's paying a ridiculous amount of money, but everybody's reaping the benefit of the work that's being done by the organizations that are aligned and moving forward. So now's the time, guys. You guys are meeting this weekend for your team. You guys are looking at strategies. You're reviewing the numbers and the quality of work and the satisfaction level of your client base, all the things that you're doing as a staff training weekend. But I also want you to spend a minute to understand you are just but a small piece of a big environment. And if you don't join that environment individually, you can't use the excuse that we're not the head doctor, especially with us. It's $33 a month. I know you can afford that. But imagine if you get engaged and involved and we stop hiding underneath this umbrella of other people are going to do it, I don't have to. This is going to take all of us. 4,000 chiropractors in Australia. That's 70% of the licensed chiropractors in that country moving together in the same direction at the same time. I'm telling you, that is an unstoppable force. We have the team in place. We have the organizations. Now what we need is the support. And so that's my request of you. Those are the things that are happening. We will win this pediatric war. As a matter of fact, every time they come at us and it looks like we've taken a shot across the chin, all that does is provide an opportunity for us to come back swinging. And I promise you, we have a strategy. We have the right people in place. Now we just need people to be connected. So as you do this training this weekend and you guys are coming together and you're getting stronger as a team, remember how important it is to reach out to your colleagues and to know that there's an insane amount of work being done. I don't want you on a street corner picketing. I want you at your adjusting table changing lives. But we need your help as well. I will be on the street corner picketing. I will shoot the guns. I will aim and shoot. What I need you to do is support and help me put bullets in the gun. All right, guys, that's it, man. Again, I am sorry that I'm not there in person. We will try to do that again at one of your other trainings. Hopefully, this has given you a little bit of information of what's going on there in Australia. And, man, I can't wait to see you in person because we will set that up when I come back out to Australia in the new year. But, guys, we love you. Thank you for loving what I love. If you're not connected to us, please consider going to defendchiropractic.org. Click on that, how you can help, and get connected to us. And if you're not a member of the ACA, I'm strongly recommending you do that as well, because it's going to take all of us moving together, and we're going to get something done. And we will make chiropractic the #1 healthcare choice in Australia. All right, guys, God bless you. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to you later.